Hi, this is Robin from Corrello again, and in this video we're going to talk about setting up this area here, the performance stats, and there's a similar area on the history tab which I'll show you in a bit, which gives you the history of all those counts. When you originally create a dashboard, what you will actually get is just this: how many cards are in progress and how many cards are completed. But if we go back to our example Trello board here from the original video, so just to remind you, we've got our three backlog or to-do lists. We've got backlog, up next, and this week, and then we have got three in progress lists here. So we've got coding, code review, and test, and then we've got our done list, which is where all our completed cards are going. What I've done is I've added some cards in here, I've assigned some people to them, I've put some due dates on, like this one's overdue already, this one's due this week, and what we will do now is we'll go and create some stats in Corrello which will give us counts of these things. So some of these have got labels on as well, so bugs. So there's a few things we want here is, how many bugs have we got open at the moment, how many bugs have been closed perhaps, is there anything overdue on this board, and we'll just get that set up in Corrello and we'll end up with something like this. So I'll go back to the editor away from all this color and I'll actually show you the sort of boring bit of how we actually implement all this. So I'll get all of these that I've set up already and I'll just walk you through it. So this is the default setup. In progress tells you how many cards are in progress at the moment, and completed tells you how many cards are being completed recently. There's this, if you look here, there's this drop down. This gives you this week, last 24 hours, last 7 days. So that's going to affect the card completed count. It'll change that to last 4 weeks. We'll get all the cards completed in the last 4 weeks. So what we can do here is this add stat button. I'll just show you where this is again. So this is about halfway down the report editor. So you've got a bit at the top where we selected our boards, completed cards, in progress, backlog, and then we've got this section here called performance stats. So if we click on add stat, you get three options. You've got card states, due date, and labels. So card states are the two that we've got already. We can say done, or you can say in progress, or you could say, okay, I want all the sprint backlog in the backlog. So that might be useful to pick that. The backlog ones, if you wanted to get a count of how much work is to do and keep a track over time, is that building up or is it getting less? If we go back to the start here, there's due date, which gives us options for overdue, due, or indeed if you want to track if people are changing due dates. And labels, so you can choose your labels in Corrello. So again, we've got bug, blocked, and I'll show you setting up both of those. So if we just start from the beginning, click on add stat, and we're going to do due date first. So we'll click on due date, click next, click on overdue, click next. I'll make that red normally because it stands out quite nicely, and we'll just leave that default name there of overdue because that should be fine. So that will give us a count of all the cards which are overdue at the moment and not completed, because Corrello's smart enough, you've told it which list is your completed list, you don't need to remove the due date once it's in there, and Corrello will know not to show it up as being overdue still. We'll add another one with a due date, so we'll say due, and that's going to tell us cards which are coming up with a due date in the next week. And click on done. Again, that's similar to the completed one. When you change that filter, this one here, that will actually change which due date it uses. So if you're looking back for the last 4 weeks, it will show you forward the next 4 weeks of what due dates are coming up. If you click last 24 hours, it will just show you stuff which are due in the next 24 hours. And labels, okay, so I'll add 2 here, I think. We'll do them, one for bug. We'll say, okay, we want all the bugs which are open at the moment. So I'll pick these 3. If you picked bug and you picked done and you didn't pick these 3, that would give you all the bugs which have been completed recently. So that might well be useful if you want to just keep track of how many bugs you're completing versus how many are open. But I'm just going to create one here for open bugs. So call that open bugs. I made that red again, have it stick out. And I'll do another one for blockers. So I'll click on blocked and see what's blocked. And again, pick those 3. If it's in done and it's blocked, I don't really care because it's done already, so I just want the other 3 states. I'll make that amber and call it blocked. So that's our 6 performance stats. If we scroll down to the bottom here and click on done, Corrello should go and recalculate all of that for us and give us the numbers here. So what you've got is you've got these 6 numbers which tells you what the current state is. I said if you filter that down, so there's nothing due in the next 24 hours, so that's gone away. All the others numbers have stayed the same because this is junk data that I just set up on this board. So changing this for me isn't really going to change anything, but for you, you can imagine that that's going to do something. We've also got the ability to click on these numbers and drill into that. So if we come here and there's one card overdue, obviously the next question is, well, what is that card? So we come in here and we can see this is it. If I click on that, it'll take me through to Trello, and you can add a comment or amend the due date if that's needed, and also tell you when it moved into the current list it's in. So this one moved in 38 minutes ago, so I might realistically not worry about that and think, okay, somebody's obviously working on this, so that's okay. Also, if you click on one of these that's got more than one card in, you can also filter down. So here I've clicked on in progress, so we're seeing all the in progress cards. And we've got 3 in there. Realistically, you'd probably have a lot more than that. We might say, okay, well, there's one card due. I want to know which one that is. If you click on that, you get this little filter icon up here, and that filters it down, and you get the same information again. So you can click on that, go and look at it. You can see who's assigned to it, and you can see when it was moved into the current list and what the due date is on it. And click on that again, and it will unfilter, and we get all 3 cards again. So that's, if we go back up to the top, that's what you get by clicking on these numbers and drilling down to see what's in the stats. There's also 2 options here to show by board or show by member. Because we're just reporting on one board, I won't show you that, but I'll show you by member. If we had more than one board, you get a similar drill down on that one. So again, we get the same counts up at the top here, but we also get the count for each individual member. So I can click here and go and look at Charlie and see what she has got. So we get the same counts, but just for her, and all of the list of where her cards are at the moment, of all the same details you had before. And again, you can click and filter and say, okay, well, what's this one card due, to go and have a look at that. So it's a quick way just to sort of see those same counts, what's on everyone's plate, and where they're at. If I wanted to quickly get to something like this, so here there's one card overdue for me, so I'll click on that. It'll take me straight through, and it's filtered that already. You can see the little filter icon, and just scroll down and get straight to what that one is. So you can very quickly zero in on where the problems might be. So that's the current tab, which is all about what do you need to worry about today. If we go to the history tab, we can see the full history of all of those numbers as well. I'll show you that on a different dashboard because I haven't actually got any history on my example dashboard because I just set it up for these videos. So this is another one. If we ignore those charts up at the top for now and come down here, so it says performance history for the last 12 sprints. That would, if you're just using weeks, that would just say last 12 weeks. And what you've got here is an average and then the number for the last week or the last sprint, and plus you've got all these ones here. So if you hover over those, you get the actual number, but also you can just see the bar chart and get the shape. So you can see in progress is increasing here, completed is increasing as well, so that's good. Overdue's actually gone down over time. So this gives you the sort of top level overview for the whole dashboard. And again, you can click show by member or show by board. I'll show you the show by board on this one. So I've just got two boards in this one, and you get the same counts here, and you get a little mini chart just showing you over time. So that's useful just to get an overview. If you've got maybe a different board for each team, that'll give you the sort of the team level overview or the project level overview for that. Okay, I think that is enough on the performance stats. Thanks for watching.